Welcome back to another episode of Gossip Break, the cherry on top of your day. I'm one of your hosts, Becky,
And I'm your other host, Bree.
and this is the first episode of 2025.
Happy New Year, girlies!
Happy New Year. I hope you had a fabulous New Year's Eve. I hope you had fun, whether that was out and about on the town or just chilling at home and nesting. I hope it was great. I hope you had a better New Year's Day and honestly, second day than I did because I was disgustingly hungover. Like, I'm honestly still hungover on the third.
I was nervous for you when you sent me that picture of Meredith Marks in bed just rotting. I was like, I know, I understand that on a different level, like
Like,
a deep level.
that was the first thing that came to mind. That's the only thing that encapsulates like how I was feeling. The mouth slightly open, one eye open, looking in another direction. Like I seriously was not okay. And I was thinking, damn, like I really am getting older. I cannot drink like I used to.
Yeah, fighting for your life once you hit 27, 26. Like after 25, that's when the
Yeah.
hangovers start. And I was telling Becky before in our pre-app, I was this is such a pick me thing, but I was like, I don't get hangovers. I didn't think that I literally thought people were faking when they had hangovers for the longest time. Cause I was like, okay, you're a little tired when you wake up. That's it. No, then my 27th birthday hit and I couldn't even keep a sip of water down. I was fighting for my life all day. Birthday
Oh,
calls coming in, couldn't even talk, couldn't even open my eye. And I was like, you know what? I'm old now and drinking, it's not the same. It's
yeah.
really not the same. And it sounds like you had that experience New
I
Year's.
did. Like this was the wake up call. Like, first of all, you don't ever need to get that drunk again. Do you know how many brain cells you killed? I easily took off like a couple hours of my life in the end. It was not good, y'all. But I'm in active recovery. I'm drinking my little colostrum right now because I literally had no nutrients. I had no water, like nothing.
Bringing it back to the breast milk.
I know.
Need mama's milk to recover.
I had to go right back to the source.
Literally healing your inner child.
Like, yeah, because like something sinister happened. And this thing that was sinister was me. Because why was I passing out shots like I was the fucking bottle girl? Like it's an open bar. Why do you have a plate of shots? Like who
That
told you
picture
to
of
do
you with
that?
the plate of like 6 tequila shots. I was like, she's gonna be so done tomorrow.
I did that like 3 times. Like it wasn't
Business doing that. That is
no,
sinister.
it wasn't my birthday. I knew like three people there. Like what? I took my
Your
job
vibes.
so seriously. But I just wanted everyone to have a good time. And apparently everyone did because everyone woke up in the morning and was like, are y'all okay? I thought it was just me that was in bad shape, but it turns out like I got everyone
Yeah,
like,
you had everybody in shambles.
yeah, every single person was like, I'm literally not okay. And I was like,
Sorry. Well, at least I'm not alone.
yeah, seriously, that was not good. But you know what? Whatever. I had a good time. It's a new
You had
year.
a good time. Yeah, you started the New Year's with a bang.
I
We'll
really
be
did.
we'll be more chill the rest of the year,
Yeah,
maybe.
seriously, that was like the height of my shenanigans. Honestly, probably for the rest of my life because that was ridiculous.
No,
Like,
I will never be the same after that hangover. I will never look at a tequila pineapple the same. It's kind of sad,
yeah,
but
it is devastating.
it had to be done. You know what? April will be the time when we turn up again, both our birthdays, 1 year of gossip break.
Yes.
So we'll recover until then.
I'm not doing anything until then. And
Dry January starts today.
yeah, 2 day dry Q1, matter of fact. Like throw the whole first quarter away because that no, I'm traumatized. That's like the hangover you tell your kids about.
Yeah, exactly. There's always that one hangover and you've experienced it.
Yeah, I've officially had it, y'all. And yeah, well, speaking of New Year, we have new cover art if you didn't notice yet.
Yes, you can finally see our cute little faces.
We had the cutest little photo shoot and content day while I was back home in Tampa, and we got some great content, including a new cover art. We'll be posting other stuff in the meantime, all the TikTokies we made and all the cutesy stuff and getting to
Yes, we
know
had to
us.
batch TikToks, of course. We're like, while we're together, we got to make all of them.
Batching content. We were clocked in.
Real content creators.
So, yeah, we hope you enjoy it. Let us know what you think. And the usual, while you're at it, leave a review, 5 stars only.
And follow us on the things because now we actually have funny things of us to
Yeah.
post. So let's get into some 2025 pop culture predictions. I thought that would be fun because then we could check back and see if any of the stuff that we said came true or if it actually happened. Well, I have the predictions. Becky's going to tell me what she thinks about them.
I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
Me and my notes app at like 2 a.m. writing pop culture predictions. Like, this is my life now. Okay. Our first one is Doja Cat makes a return to pop music Planet Her style. That's just me praying, actually.
This
These
is
are
actually
actually just like what I want.
I like that. That I can do. That I can make up some. I see Doja doing. I hope so. I like Doja.
She got a little crazy for a while,
Good.
and it wasn't even like the shaved head. It was the boyfriends, it was the chat rooms, it was the fetishes.
Yeah,
I digress. However, the music has always hit.
always. She's never had a flop era. Serious.
Never. Even the last one, Scarlet, right? I mean, Agora Hills, bop.
Agora Hills.
However, I just need the full style, the full era to come back because I don't know. I feel like she's be doing the most. I feel like she just tries to purposely look ugly sometimes. And I get that, but I want you to get cute again for 2025.
Yeah, I miss Juicy Doja.
Yes, I miss Juicy Tia Tamara Say So Doja. Bring her back.
No, I just went on her Instagram and she doesn't have very many posts. She only has three posts and one highlight called Dick.
See, like this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, and the story, when you click on the dick highlight, it's and balls.
Okay. Well, she just literally has the humor of a middle school boy.
Yeah.
Wishing better for her in the new year. This next one, actually, okay, I shouldn't say that these are my wants, but these are just what I think is going to happen because this is just how it goes for the girlies. Uglies are going to come for Sabrina Carpenter this year because, of course, like anytime a woman gets too big in the media, they got to find a way to bring her down. I hope this doesn't happen, but this is just the way the world runs.
Yeah.
Third, Selena Gomez sweeps the awards season for Amelia Perez and gets the Latin community in an uproar. I just see it happening so clearly already. And I'm gonna be pissed too.
Yeah, I can actually see that happening and everyone being like, "Excuse me."
There's gonna be some comments for
Yeah.
sure. Like, how did she get here? You know what I heard as well is that she did used to be a fluent Spanish speaker and then she lost it. Like when she was little, she used to speak Spanish. So I'm even more confused now why she be sounding like that because um
That was not good, y'all.
no, she literally speaks High Valerian when she's trying to speak Spanish. It's too much. Fourth, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater break up. I feel like
Yeah.
that's an obvious, right? She's not
Maybe,
staying with that man. There's too much trauma behind it. That's like her trauma bond. Once Wicked is over, she will be done with him.
yeah, either right before part two or right after. I can see them breaking up.
And then Lily J, Ethan Slater's ex-wife, is going to find an amazing man and he's going to be by himself. Me and Bach.
Ian Bach.
Alone. Okay, and then I have two Bravo predictions. I didn't think about these too much. So we have for Beverly Hills, Dorit gets a new, younger, hot man. And then for New Jersey, Dolores and Polly break up because she can never keep a man. I'm sorry, girl. I love
Why aren't
Dolo, but
why aren't they married yet? Like, what's the reason
he's
again?
still married.
Oh, yeah, that's not
Oh
good.
my God. You know what I just thought about? This is okay. This is actually so funny that I put this on here because maybe subconsciously I was thinking about it. I saw this TikTok from, I think her name is Hot Bravo Takes, if you guys want to go look at her page, because she has it. And I don't follow Polly from New Jersey, so I would have never seen this. But I guess he posted on his Instagram story a picture of Kyle from Beverly Hills and her daughter and Mauricio. And it said, like, it was an arrow that pointed to, and it was like, I don't know, like, is Kyle eavesdropping? Or I don't exactly know the right words for it, but basically it was a really strange, out of the norm post for Polly from New Jersey to post a picture of Kyle and her daughters. And it was almost like sounded like he was reporting on the news when he posted it. And then he deleted it really quick. And it's giving he has a Bravo burner account and posted on the wrong account.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what are we doing? I'm sorry, that made me cringe so bad. And then I was looking at his page, and I just feel like he's a little bit full of himself, and he really enjoys the attention he's getting from Dolores and the show because I don't know, the heavily filtered posts and the selfies, and he's rubbing me the wrong way after I saw that. Dolo, you got to go.
This picture with the chihuahua?
The Chihuahua selfie and the big ass glasses. I
Yeah.
can't get over how he facetunes his face in all these pictures to the point where he looks younger than Dolores. And sorry, but I don't like that. What is
No,
that new Kendrick line in that SZA song that's like, you're fucking with a man that thinks he's cuter than you? Oh, so you're on your cycle, but he's on his period too? Oh, that's literally Polly.
that is the theme song to the New Jersey husbands because
Oh
they
my God,
all
yes.
are
Louis too.
divas.
Joe Gorga. They're all divas. Like they all
Buddha.
be like buff and tan and hot. And it's coming across, you know what? Let me stop. It's the new year.
It's not good. It's not a good look. I don't know what ladies are, and it's weird because who is like praising, who's like looking good, Polly, like them.
Exactly. Concerning. Those are my only ones for predictions. But I guess now that we're talking about Jersey, do you predict that it will come back in 2025, 2026? What are you thinking the vibes are?
I think Jersey will come back in 2026. I think they're gonna have to uproot. I don't want to say reboot because just based on what I'm seeing off of New York and the feedback from folks there, it's not very good. But to
Yeah.
be fair, New York, like RHONY used to be OG RHONY was close to perfection when it comes to it's in like god tier levels of housewife chaos. And then they rebooted it where it's like everyone's kind of sick and tired of Jersey. Like we're all just like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of these bitches. Like, give me something new. And I keep getting one night around Christmas, of course, fucking sprinkle cookies. I kept getting a video like Melissa would post, and then Teresa would have the same video. I don't know who posted it first. Like, that's, I'm not saying, I mean, one of them's copying another. I'm not gonna say
For
it's
sure.
you can probably guess who I think's copying another one, but it'd be like cooking with Teresa, then it'd be cooking with Melissa, and then it'd be like like a random trend I've literally never seen before, and then like the other one would do it too. It was just really
Yeah.
weird and bizarre, and I'm like, I am so tired of everyone. If I'm
They
being
actually, I think Teresa was on Housewives recent, or not Housewives, duh. Watch What Happens Live recently because I saw a little clip of it, and I think she was with Ashley Darby from Potomac, and she was on. 'Cause she's doing like House of the Villains stuff. But somebody, it was either a viewer question or Andy asked specifically that, like, are you and Melissa copying each other on TikToks because one person posts a cooking video, then the next person posts a cooking video, and Teresa pretty much said like, I have them blocked on everything. I'm not even looking at their shit. One, and they I mean, I think I'm sure Melissa and Joe aren't stalking her either. The thing is they're so similar that they probably like that's why they hate each other. So they probably do the same stuff. But Teresa did mention she was like, by the way, who had the cookbooks first and has been talking about cooking and had her cooking show come out last year. And Melissa just started making TikToks about cooking now. So who's copying who? Which
Yeah,
I mean,
and
appreciate that, but at the same time, I do feel like they're just so similar. That's why they just,
it's just
clash constantly.
I feel like that's almost like a response, and they know their jobs are on the line, so they're trying to kind of pivot a little bit, like, oh, what could be? But like again, Teresa kind of already did that.
I know when you think about it that way, because I did forget that she has the cookbooks. And she does have that cooking channel on YouTube, which I have actually watched once, not gonna lie, because I wanted to see how to make red sauce because I don't know, it's so cute how the Italians have just having that simmer all day long. Like, what do you guys put in there? I want to know.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have to do something really different.
Yeah.
I don't know about a full reboot. I wouldn't even mind a full reboot because like I said, like I wouldn't mind not seeing any of them ever again. Um, Not even Teresa, because like I know I'm still gonna see Teresa around.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get it from the daughters or
Yeah,
Lisa herself. So like if the show ended, that'd be fine because I'd still be locked in with my girl. Whereas like everyone
exactly.
else, like I literally couldn't give a
Don't
fuck.
care. I
Yeah.
think now that I'm thinking about it too, I don't even think I would want a reboot because I wouldn't care. I just don't think Jersey
Yeah.
is big enough of a not big enough, but it's just not exciting enough for me to be like, oh, let's give a reboot. I feel like if they're just not going to have these ladies, just don't give it to us at all. Just give us a new franchise
Give us
somewhere
a
else.
new city. Y'all did really well with Salt Lake City.
Yes, let's just do something new and just put
Give
our
me
resources
Houston.
there.
Give me a reboot of Dallas. Like the fact that there's no Housewives in Texas is crazy because this is
Yeah, you guys should have one.
like I know we had Dallas and no one watched it and then they canceled it. But I'm like, at least Houston or even I would even Austin, I don't know actually. But
I feel
Houston
like Dallas has so much potential though.
has
They just
like
probably picked the wrong people.
they did 100%. Or Arizona, another Florida one. I don't know, just anything but New Jersey. Because New Jersey only came out because of Jersey Shore. Like
Yeah.
that was like the era. And now Utah's on the map and now there's like 100 shows about fucking Utah and it's like
Yeah,
it really
that's true. It's like Utah's the
oh,
new space now for the content creators.
yeah. It's so weird, but
So we need, I think that's what it is. We need like a niche random state that you don't normally think of but has the crazies. That's where we need to go. So maybe somewhere we're not like traditionally thinking.
yeah.
Because even when I was living in Chicago, I was always wondering why don't they have Real Housewives of Chicago, or even if you're from the Chicago area, like the suburbs around Chicago are some of the most insane, wealthy neighborhoods I've ever seen in my life. Like there has to be some crazy bitches that live there.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, they've never done it either. So it must I'm just going to trust that the casting process just could not find interesting people, and that's why it is the way it is.
Yeah, because it just doesn't click New Jersey over like yeah, you're right. Honestly, cancel the whole thing. I wouldn't care. If it got rebooted, like I might watch a couple of episodes, but I
They
don't
have
think
to find somebody really good. And it's just at this point in Housewives, everybody knows about Housewives.
yeah.
And, like the difference I'm thinking of is, I don't know. Because I think about Stacey and Potomac, and I feel like she hasn't really watched Housewives, or at least she acts like she doesn't the way she's on the show. And I feel like it's really refreshing to have her in the mix of other people. Whereas with New York, all of them are new. And I almost feel like that makes it worse somehow because they're all trying to be on their best behavior. And I don't know.
I,
I
yeah.
miss the mess. I just feel like I think also what it is, which I've said this before, but RHONY needed to be separated more. Like it should have not have been named Real Housewives of New York. It should have been named like Real Housewives of New York City or some other little facet because those girls, even though they live in the same city as the OGs, they're nothing like them. It's a totally different culture. There's not like the drinking party mess that we had. It's like these very successful women, honestly, which is cool to see, but they're not giving mess. They're so highly curated because they are so successful that they don't want to look like drunk messes shitting
Yeah.
on themselves on camera, which I totally get. But at the same time, what am I watching this for?
Yeah, I also think the pressure of having to live up to the name of like it should have just been something else. Like it should
Yeah.
have been a Housewives franchise. It should have been something closer to like Blood, Sweat, and Heels, that show they used to have, kind of
Or
where
like
it's
Ladies of London, not really
yeah,
housewives, but just different.
yeah, like the angle is that they're working women in New York trying to figure it out. That would have been cool, but the fact that it's Housewives and like we have to go on these trips together and
Hmm.
have all this drama and the husbands and stuff, like it's genuinely not entertaining.
Yeah, the format is not entertaining with them. Whereas, like, that's why I used to love Summer House, which I still do, but it's just not the same anymore as time goes on, inevitably. But I used to really like it in the beginning because the whole formatting was real people with real 9 to 5s, and then they just come on the summer and get fucked up at the Hamptons. But then they go back to their normal life in the weekday. But now it's like they're all so popular from the show, they don't really have 9 to 5s anymore. So it kind of loses that spark. And I just, the same thing I'm feeling with RHONY. It's just like the formatting is not working because we need delusional, messy housewives who sit at home all day and they're fucking nuts because they have nothing else to do to be housewives. Like that's the format that works.
Yeah, like I want someone to be like a crazy soccer mom that goes to all the practices, that's like feeding her kid. Like I want to see that. I'm not trying to see, oh, I started a new tequila brand. I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care.
Don't care anymore.
Anyways,
Speaking of more Bravo and Summer House, it was announced this week that Paige Desorbo and Craig Conover are breaking up or have broken up. Um,
I have some questions.
okay.
It's not even about their relationship because I'll be honest, I only know Paige because she's a Bravo girly. Like I
Like
don't
she's like the it girl of Bravo right now.
yeah, like I see her, I see the Amazon lives and the TikToks and the Giggly Squad. So did so I
Okay,
know
yeah, I'm gonna tell you the
that
lore
yeah,
after the questions.
yeah, Craig was on Southern Charm, right?
Yes.
Did
Yes.
she start on Southern Charm?
She's always been on Summer House. He's always been on Southern Charm, but they've both crossed over to each other's shows now because they're dating. So to me, I'm honestly 0% surprised by this. I
Right.
did love them together. I mean, I shouldn't say I love them together. I like Paige. That's it. Not that I don't like Craig, but it's just like I never watched Southern Charm. Not really into that vibe. But yeah, I'm just like 0% surprised because their problem has always been they can't figure out where they want to live. Paige is so New York coded down. Like she never wants to leave the city. She's basically mini Carrie Bradshaw. And Craig is pure Charleston Southern boy. They both are like the perfect encapsulation of New York City and Charleston. And I love that for them. But together, it never made sense because one of them was never willing to move to the other place. Like Craig didn't ever seem like he really was going to fit in New York, and Paige never really fucked with Charleston like that. So I feel like every time in Summer House, when they were talking about it, people would bring that issue up. And Paige has always said, like on Giggly Squad and Summer House, you know, not to worry about their relationship and they'll figure out in time. And low-key gaslighting us, to be honest, into thinking like this is a normal situation to the point where everybody just got over it and it was like, okay, it's normal. Women don't need to, you know, just settle down immediately. And I get that, but at the same time, I never fully got over how are we just no one is ever going to be willing to move. I mean, yes, I know that like issues can be worked through, but this issue specifically never really made sense to me because they're both so strong and both where they want to live. That's number one. And then number two is that Craig is trying to settle down, have a family, get married yesterday, and Paige is not ready for that right now. Her career is exploding, taking off. She's not trying to have a kid, and it's not, I don't think that she doesn't want to get married, but I think she realizes once they get married, Craig is older than her. They're going to want to start having kids right away. And that's not the space that she's in, which I don't blame her. I mean, she is 32, which I know people are saying, like, oh, you're in your 30s now. You need to start worrying about that. She's still very young.
Yeah.
And especially because I feel like her career is blowing up in such a beautiful way outside of Summer House. Like she's found a way to not associate herself with Bravo, whereas everybody else is relying on a Bravo check. So
Mhm.
that's cool to see. And I don't blame her for not wanting to settle down right now and get knocked up and then move to Charleston. It seems like she would have to give up everything in this
Yeah.
scenario. So I just like, to me, I'm 0% shocked, but I am sad because I know that they obviously loved each other. And when you did see them on camera together, they looked so sweet and like they were just best friends and they did look really cute together. But again, like the underlying issue, I don't see how they were ever going to get past that.
That makes sense because like I said, I've never watched Summer House. I think I might this season.
Yes, you have to, because this might be the last one.
Yeah, honestly. I'd never watched Summer House, never really got into Southern Charm. I did, like, side note, watch a little bit of Southern Charm New Orleans. Cannot believe they canceled that fabulous show. It was low-key like
Interesting.
like it was definitely like more black than Southern Charm, like the original one, but
Hmm.
it had that like same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Anyways, we already know about all those shows. We love that. Bravo just
Summer
canceled.
House, Martha's Vineyard, RIP.
Yeah, Family
Family Karma, RIP.
Real Housewives of Dubai. Not that like I really watched, but they're not
RIP.
bad. Anyways, yeah, Paige is a star. She is the doll of Bravo. And you know what's crazy? Her and Ashley Darby being the same age.
That is crazy. Sometimes when you think about how old certain Bravo stars are compared to others, it's really weird.
Like Sheena and Bronwyn.
That's crazy. It's just because of the way they market certain shows. Vanderpump Rules is always marketed as like the young little teeny bopper show. Maybe not teeny bopper, but like young adults.
Yeah.
Housewives, you always think of older women, but then it's like the outliers when you have really young housewives like Ashley Darby, and then you have, I mean, Paige isn't even. Wait, Paige and Ashley Darby?
I was gonna say, I actually think I just lied.
Yeah. Wait, can I was like they're like 4 years difference, but still, they're like still in
No,
like the
same.
same.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Kyle Cook from Summer House is he's like I think he's 40 or 41 or something.
That
He
is
like
scary.
you're too old to be getting trashed
He's
every single weekend in the Hamptons. Every single weekend.
he's 42.
There's definitely some housewives that I mean, he's older than Ashley Darby.
I'm concerned.
I am concerned. Don't even get me started on Kyle Cook's ass. Anyways, well, sorry for Paige and Craig. Paige, love her, and I hope she's not going to be upset about this because this is just the way it goes. But that man is going to get married next year, like this year. He's going
Yeah.
to have a kid and be married in like 6 months because that's just the way these things go.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's in Charleston. He's in the perfect city to settle down. He's gonna find some cute little 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 something year old engaged in like 6 months, knocked up within a
Yep.
year. 100%. But that's what he wanted. And like that's
Yeah.
not what she wants right now. And I can totally understand like being a career woman and wanting to focus on that and figuring your shit out. So,
It's
you
going to
know,
be the loss of his life for real, though, because he's going to get married and have kids. And I bet he's always going to think about Paige.
of course, because it's gonna be very vanilla.
It's going to be a blonde girl. I could
Yeah.
already see it. There's my 2025 prediction. Craig
Yeah.
married to a new blonde girl, younger than Paige, and she gets knocked up within like a few months.
And he brings her on the show and she starts cutting up with all the girlies. Like she's gonna be a threat. I can I like I see it.
Whatever. Paige is just gonna keep being more successful. You got this, girl. And honestly, she could probably have anybody she fucking wants in New York. Like, she's gorgeous and she is funny, she's witty, she's successful. But she is gonna have the boundaries because she's probably gonna be like, why do I need to rush into it? Because I don't want these things right now. Whereas like he's like, give me the babies.
Yeah, I can see that's classic.
Classic man after a
Yeah.
breakup. Okay, should we move on to our next story?
Yes.
Ay, 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 girls. Okay, well, I guess we inevitably have to talk about the It Ends With Us drama with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni because lots of craziness happened these past 2 weeks. Of course, it's like our one break of the year. All the drama happens. Um, at this point, honestly, so much new information that conflicts the information that came out a day before keeps coming out to the point where it's like, I don't even know if I have an opinion on any of this. I'm just going to be telling y'all the facts because it is
Right.
so hard to keep up with at this point. So, the latest updates is that movie came out on Netflix in December. Blake Lively filed a complaint against Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. You guys are just going to have to go look at the story yourself because there are so many pages of text and documents that it's just going to be impossible. Like, it would be a whole hour episode to just talk about that. But she brought up sexual harassment claims. And then he just countersued the New York Times and sued them for 200, or not countersued because she didn't technically sue, it was a complaint. He sued the New York Times for $250 million for libel for putting this story out and saying how they were cherry picking information and only putting out certain things. So that's what we have right now. Blake Lively filed a complaint for sexual harassment against him. He has filed to sue the New York Times for 250 million. Holy shit. What is happening?
Isn't there supposed to be a sequel to this movie?
Yes, and that's also like what are we doing? How are we going to do this?
I feel like they're trying to have, I almost feel not to get like so meta, but I feel like this is all a part of like a campaign. Like both
This
of
is
them.
all part of the prequel or
Yeah,
the
like they're both in on it. They're trying to have a don't worry, darling moment where it's like, oh, the cast is feuding behind the scenes. And they're both trying to make a name for themselves. Because I'm sorry, I did not know who Justin Baldoni was before this.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was before either. But I mean, I know that the only thing I know he was in is Jane the Virgin, which I know the
Ah,
people who like Jane the Virgin obviously know him, but that's it.
that's it. A
Um
CW show? Like I don't know who that fucking is. Like I've known Blake Lively for me and her go way back.
we go way back. And
So
also he was in or he did have a podcast. I think it was called Man Enough or something like that. It was basically talking about how men can help be feminists and yada yada. So it's just
uh,
so ridiculous that all this is coming out when he's like the biggest man for feminism, blah blah blah. Actually, his there was a woman on the podcast and she came out and said she's no longer doing the podcast and she doesn't want to be associated with it anymore. So,
I wouldn't either.
yeah.
Everything about it, whether who's right and who's wrong, is it's ick. Like everything
Yes.
is just I'm icked out. I don't care anymore. It's too much drama. It's too much mudslinging. It's literally giving presidential election. Like, oh my God, like I don't care about
It
who.
really is.
Yeah. Like it comes out on Netflix and then all of a sudden you're starting to sue him. And now
Yeah.
he wants to sue New York Times. You think you're gonna win against the New York Times for
It's
libel?
there's like parts of both stories, which is why I'm still not going to say I'm on a side because there's both parts of the story that I think are wrong. And by the way, you guys should go listen to our It Ends With Us episode when we first talked about it in August. I re-listened and I was a little bit nervous because I was like, me and you were probably cutting up, talking mad shit. And no, we were actually really fucking accurate about everything. So, basically, we just said, which is still true to this day, that two things could be true at once. Blake Lively is a bitch and Justin Baldoni is a creep. And like that's what it is.
I believe it. I believe it because she acted an ass on that press tour and he's acting an ass now.
Yep. So there was like a few things in the complaints, lawsuits that were mentioned that we could briefly talk about. One of them is that Blake Lively claims that Justin Baldoni walked into her dressing room uninvited when she was breastfeeding. And then he came out with his receipts. And there is a text message from her saying something like, "Hey, I'm just pumping right now. Feel free to come in so we could run lines together." And he was like, "Okay, cool." And people are taking that and being like, "See, he had receipts. Like, she didn't come in uninvited, blah, blah, blah." I see the point of that, but at the same time, it is kind of rubbing me the wrong way. Maybe I don't have all the information yet, but that argument is rubbing me the wrong way a little bit because it just sounds like, okay, so she texted him, you could come in one time. Now that means he has 24/7 access to her whenever the fuck he wants. How does that make sense either? That's like a girl saying, "Yes, I want it once," and then being like, "No, I don't want it anymore." And he's like, "Well, too bad you said yes once."
Yeah.
So I don't really see how that is absolving him from these claims. But again, like there could be a lot more information. I haven't had a chance to go through all of the receipts because it's like thousands of pages.
Yeah.
So that was one part of it. Another one was that he apparently fat shamed her for the weight. And then it came out that, he was worrying about his back and making sure he can hold her because he has back issues. And he came out and said that Ryan Reynolds was allegedly berating him for fat shaming his wife. And, now people are getting on Ryan Reynolds. But to be honest, like, rare Ryan Reynolds win. Like, sorry, if I'm being fat shamed, I want my husband to berate that person too.
Uh, like that's to be expected.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get mad at him for that one.
So I watched Deadpool and I figured out why I don't like Ryan Reynolds. It's because he took his Deadpool role and like took it to the moon. Like he
He
acts
took
like
it way too
Deadpool
seriously.
in real life. Like that I've talked about this the last time, that like smug, chummy,
Mm-hmm.
sarcasm, millennial, like oh my gosh, I hate it. This is so millennial drama, and I think that's why I don't give a fuck. Like you guys are such annoying millennials, like always trying to make like a movement and a statement out of something like, oh, I'm a man for feminism, or I'm speaking for all the girls that have been smeared in the media, or and then all the fucking sisterhoods of the traveling pants, they come out with a
When
dress.
they all came out, I was like, oh,
Oh
it's getting serious.
my God. Like,
We
what?
got
Shut
sisters.
the fuck up. Like, why doesn't everyone just sit down and make a movie? Like, y'all haven't been in movies in like 10 years. Why don't you worry about that? Like, why are you coming out with a joint statement? Like, they really thought they ate. That makes me so mad.
Yeah, there's just
Not even a
so
bit.
much I don't want to say nonsense because I guess a lot of it has been confirmed, but it's just like craziness. Yeah, film the fucking movie and let's move on like we used to do
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. And now there's supposed to be sequels. You think we're gonna watch these sequels? Like, are you guys trying to get us to watch the movie? Because
I don't even want to watch it now.
I don't want to read the book. I don't want to watch the movies. I know Colleen Hoover is sitting there honestly giggling because she's gonna make a bag. And either way, like she made a bag from the
Kicking her
book.
feet.
Yeah, like a bag from selling the rights and a bag from the movie. And then they're coming out with her other book.
She's sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, she's doing just fine, but everyone else, you guys have lost your minds. That's what it is. It's millennial drama. This is so BuzzFeed to me.
Yes, it's so BuzzFeed. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely reasons to be mad, I guess you can say, at both sides because Justin Baldoni is coming out with a lot of stuff right now and a lot of receipts that do show that Blake was trying to kind of take control of the film. I mean, even the editors were saying, it's crazy. Like, she wouldn't even let the editors and him see the final cut of the movie. And it's like, how are you not going to let the director see the final cut of the movie? That's crazy. I totally understand why he was pissed off about that. And then also, let's not forget how she acted like a total ass during that press tour that
Yeah.
had nothing to do with Justin Baldoni at all, like purely on her own. Still remember that fucking interviewer asking her, "This is a really big movie for domestic violence survivors and it's really going to impact them. How can they come up to you and share their story with you?" And she responds back, "Oh, and do they need my location too? Do I need to set a date for it?" Just being so sarcastic when we're talking about domestic violence. You were the lead of this movie. You have to take on that role of talking about this topic in an empathetic way. And she never once did. She's out here promoting her fucking hair care line that looks like frizzy hair after you use it. She's talking about flower shops and bring your girls and flowers to watch the movie, not talking about it being about domestic violence at all. So there is definitely reason for her without even any of this Justin Baldoni stuff to look crazy. But then on his side, I cannot get behind how not a single person in this cast is fucking with him. Everybody unfollowed him. Everyone unfollowed him. How do you look past that? There has to be something behind it. Not, because you can't get every single person to not want to fuck with you unless you did something wrong. Like, yes,
Yeah.
Blake Lively has been proved to be a bitch. We've seen the interviews. However, something behind the scenes clearly is going on if everybody besides her doesn't want to mess with you either. The only people who were talking to him were two of the editors, which makes sense because Blake ended up using her own editors and making her own thing. So if I was editors, I would be annoyed too. But other than that, nobody fucks with him. So
Yeah.
to me, that's a red flag. And then the biggest red flag of them all, him hiring
Yep.
Johnny Depp and Logan Paul and Drake's PR manager, the three scummiest men of the earth.
Yeah, like men that go after women, men that create smear campaigns about women and their enemies.
Yes, and those texts were damning, okay, on his end, talking about the publicist was like, he wants to know that we can bury her. Um, that's scary. And also, I feel like this is just really interesting in context of PR because we're both PR majors and we deal with that or we used to deal with that a lot in college and learning all about that. And it honestly kind of made me appreciative that we kind of went into more jobs that aren't so PR focused, more like social media, communications, marketing, because it just showed how nasty PR gets. And it really made me uncomfortable just seeing how just like the happiness and the glee of taking Blake Lively down. And I'm not even like a huge Blake Lively fan. Like I've already said on the podcast, she was a total bitch, but seeing how they were talking about her was honestly scary. And then seeing how they can totally control the social media forum. I mean, I was even believing a lot of it. I'm sure everybody was believing it.
Yeah.
And I don't even feel bad for that because I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, I feel bad for believing this. No, they did this to us. Of course, we're going to believe it when it's all we see. But I think like the scariest part of it to me too is that a lot of people were bots in these fucking comments and you would never know. And it's like these PR people literally hire an agency to there's like a specific word for it. I forgot what it's called, but they hire like specific agencies to literally just do social media PR and negativity and stuff and they have literal bots that will comment stuff, but you go to their page and it's like, oh, it looks like a mom with kids and she has like two or three posts, but it's a fake person. And they make all of these accounts and they all say the same things. And you see, like we have groupthink. Like if there's somebody who posts a TikTok video and then somebody comments underneath, like, actually, I don't think this isn't this. And then more people start commenting, like the bots start commenting the same thing. All of a sudden, you may have agreed with one thing and then you go the comments and it's like, oh, people are believing this instead. Maybe I actually believe this. Whole time it's bots that are saying all of it, but they look real, so you don't know. And I don't know, it's just scary. And it also makes me think of that definitely happened for the election. Because I remember, not to get too political, guys, but like just for the sake of this conversation, I remember I would go on TikToks and it would be, I don't know, like let's say like a pro Kamala TikTok. And then there would be a comment underneath and it would be like, make America great again, blah, blah, blah. And like the exact exclamation points and capitalization that they would use and spacing, there would be like three of those comments. Like they were, copy pasted like bots. And then like the same thing for Kamala, like it'd be a Trump video and then there would be like bots that were pro Kamala and they had like the exact same spacing and exclamation points. And it's just kind of creepy to think
Yeah.
about how much fake shit, like what is real?
Nothing. That's why media literacy has never been more important because it can be as trivial as it ends with us drama,
Mm-hmm.
but it can be as serious as like the United States presidential elections. Like
Yep.
media literacy goes so far. And even I, like me, having gone to school for years, always wanted to work in PR. I knew in high school I wanted to actually in middle, even further back, middle school, elementary school, I knew I wanted to work in media and I literally find myself falling for stuff all the time. Like
Yep.
AI, all for it all the time. I'm like, holy shit. Like I'm someone whose screen time is like atrocious and I spend all day interacting with media in one form or another and I still fall for shit. So I can't even imagine being a regular person with like a normal job
Mm-hmm.
and getting on the internet. Like of course you believe everything you see.
Yep. Yeah, it's just really scary when you think about it that way, how susceptible we are
Yeah.
to.
Misinformation.
And then it just made me think about PR and just how, because I just think when we think about PR, because we're good-hearted people, we always think about, oh, how could we make the person better? And like in our classes, it was always about how do we get visibility for this brand? How do we make this brand better? My fucking case study, my 10-page paper in PR was about how to improve Justin Bieber's reputation.
Yeah.
I went so hard on that paper. Anyways, it's always about like how to make people look better. And I feel like we forget that PR could just as easily be like, how do we make this person look really, really bad?
Really bad.
And yeah,
Because
it was
now that
just
I'm thinking about it, those random interviews Blake did like 10 years ago, like who dug
just
that up?
popping out. Well, that interviewer who came out with that initial video where I feel like people were really starting to talk shit about her when I think it said something like, "Oh, congrats on your bump" or something, and then Blake was like, "Congrats on your little bump," like because
Yeah, oh yeah,
Blake was
yeah.
pregnant. That whole video, however that was, it came out that that lady, I think what it was. Justin Baldoni's PR team reached out to her and she posted it on her own. And she had also posted something pro Johnny Depp before. So they were probably like, oh, well, she's on our side in the past. So she'll help us out again. I mean, at the same time, though, Blake Lively did say that. So
Yeah.
that's the part where it's like, okay, yes, they did do a smear campaign, but at the same time, she did do those things.
Gave them something to smear. Like you gave
Yeah.
them, like maybe if you were a little bit more mindful and not trying to be fucking Serena Vander Woodson all the time,
24/7.
you would be like, what?
And also for the gossip girlies who were into Gossip Girl, I always thought it was really strange how Leighton Meester and Blake Lively were never close because I just always assumed that they spend so much time together. Of course, they're going to be friends outside of it. No, Leighton Meester cannot stand that bitch. And you could tell when you go back in interviews, like Blake Lively is so insufferable and Leighton Meester's just sitting there trying to get through it.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's not like these things came out of nowhere, but at the same time, when it comes to the sexual harassment stuff, if she did feel that she was being, I can't tell her how she felt. If she felt like she was uncomfortable, then I'm taking her side on that. And the stuff that I was reading, it does sound icky. Him trying to initiate more sex scenes and there needed to be that weren't originally part of it and wanting her to be naked more and just like
weird.
there's things and also I guess it's like as an actor where is the line for that because she had mentioned that she felt that he was kissing her longer in scenes than needed or doing too much. And that's the part where it's like, I guess as an actor, where is the line for that? Because you could obviously argue and be like, I wanted to show more passion between them or whatever. But Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at what point is it harassment when the cameras
Well,
are
that's
on?
why you have intimacy coordinators on set. Like a part of
Yeah.
production is having someone that's like, brothers and sisters don't hug like that. You know,
Yes, yes,
like,
exactly.
when you watch movies and you're like, that was really a weird father, daughter, mother, son moment. Like,
Yeah.
that was weird. That's why they have intimacy coaches and be like, no, it should be more like this, or it should be this. And then also advocating for both actors, like maybe
Mhm.
not do this. I don't know, Charles. It's just, I'll be excited when this is over.
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to say my opinion. Here I am fucking yapping for like 20 minutes. But at the end of the day, yeah, like we're not on anyone's side because there's just way too much stuff that keeps coming out that conflicts the other person. And they're both wrong.
They're both wrong, and it's taking away from the message from the movie, which is to, to protect domestic violence victims.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure by the time we wrap this episode, another article will come out for us. So give us grace with the information we have right now. It's always something new coming out that's crazy. But yeah, listening back to our last episode, or not last episode, when we did talk about the It Ends With Us, I was like, okay, T, like we were very neutral on both sides, and we clocked the Johnny Depp PR thing immediately because at that time, specifically, everybody was saying, oh, he's doing so much better to promote the movie and talk about domestic violence survivors, and he has it in his Instagram bio and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like me and you were the only people at the time that were like, but he just hired Johnny Depp's PR manager. That's suspicious.
Very suspicious.
So here we are.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the first episode of the new year. We have so much more planned for y'all. Let us know what you think of our cover art and this episode. You already know the drill. You can find us on Instagram at what? You can find us on Instagram at Gossip Break Pod, on TikTok at Gossip Break, and then we're on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So make sure you leave us a 5-star review and share this episode with your best gossip breaker.
Yes. And next week we will be recapping Traitors. So definitely make sure you watch it so you can recap and watch the season with us. We're really excited to get back into TV recaps.
And it'll be my first Traders watch, so
Oh
maybe
my God. This is going to be so much fun. I
yeah,
can't
I'm
wait.
excited because I love a good game show, like
You're going to
strategy
love it.
and stuff. So
It's
this should
just
be
so campy and fun, and it's the best because there's like all of our favorite reality stars on there.
love.
I'm excited. So, yeah, we'll be doing that next week. So, stay tuned for that, girlies. And we hope you have an amazing weekend. Happy Friday. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.